How do flat-chested women get mammograms? They train the technicians on how to work with pretty much any amount of breast tissue. If absolutely necessary, though, they can do an ultrasound or other scan to identify potential tumors. The technicians are trained to get as much as they can, and unfortunately it can be very uncomfortable. If you are high risk and have dense and/or small breasts, your doctor should be ordering ultrasound as well. They manage to mash down what little we have. It's 2023, why isn't there a better way to get mammograms? Loudly crying. There are different plates that they can switch out and the machine can be swiveled to get the angles they need. I just had my third mammogram done last week, and am, as the tech put it, small, and she had to do some maneuvering. But it's kind of amazing how a seemingly small amount of tissue can be squished. As it was, there was a darker spot that showed up on one side and they called me back in to try to get a better look. More detailed squishing. This newer equipment is quite impressive. They still couldn't tell for sure what they were seeing, and we didn't have my older files for reference. So I was taken next door for ultrasound scanning since the radiologist was on site. The ultrasound tech used the mammogram imaging as a guide for where to look more closely. It seems to be okay, but I will go back in for a recheck in a couple of months. A big shout out to the techs who deal with these situations with gentleness and caring all day long. I'm glad you asked this, cause I don't even fill in a cup and I've been wondering what to expect when the time comes. This is a complete aside, but wouldn't you think by now they would have a more dignified, less painful way of doing this? Like, I know some men do get mammograms, but if most men had to, I feel like there would be more push to find another diagnostic procedure. Painfully, my boobs are wide, but very flat, and apparently also very dense from being over 35 and not having children. Had no idea that was a thing. The amount of maneuvering that needed to be done with that amount of pressure over such dense tissue had me sore for a handful of days afterward. I'd take a no lubrication pap smear over that experience again. I'll see about getting an ultrasound for the next one. I once asked the technician how in the world they accommodate large busted women when my little B cups fill the plate. She explained that the X-ray plates come in different sizes. I have men, patients, with breast cancer risk genes. And they get mammos too. They squish those babies to within an inch of their lives. Literally. Size of boobs here. Have had 4 mammograms and biopsies plus lumpectomies are formed. Where there's a will to get non-existent boobs between the mammogram plates, there is a way. Somehow the technicians know how to work with them. Just feels like you have jammed your shoulders in there too, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing. Painfully. I believe smaller-chested women also have denser breast tissue. At least that's what my doctor said. So also should get an ultrasound at the same time. Fun fact for my fellow Americans: routine mammo is covered by insurance, but the routine ultrasound for dense breasts is not. That was a fun surprise. We can do mammograms on any size. We do mammograms on men also. Men have breast tissue and therefore can get breast cancer. Everyone is encouraged to have a mammogram if they have any concerns or family history. Please don't worry about breast size. We have different sized paddles to accommodate everyone. If I remember it correctly, in my case they had to change the angle of the platform for me, because otherwise it was just physically impossible with my small chest. The technician even made a comment about that, which was rude, I think. Also, it was very painful because I had to stand at a weird angle and it felt like my boob was getting twisted off. I'm really small-chested and was shocked at how much boob they found. Men also get mammograms sometimes. Great question. Seems ideal for this sub-emo. Maybe for those with your relatively gentle boob geography, they could use a different type of scan. Maybe a CT with some contrast dye injected into your blood or something to help visualize things. Painfully. I'm only a B cup and they were able to. Luckily the cancer scare was confirmed to only be fibrocystic breasts. As barely an A cup, this is a legitimate worry of mine.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.